This is Eagle Owl, and today I will be talking about CJ Johnson pissing off Quinyon Mitchell. Also, we got to talk about Tanner McKee making history. And lastly, we're going to talk about AJ Brown praising Saquon Barkley. But let's get straight into it. All right, before we hop straight into it, I got to talk about Pickett. So everybody wanted to know what is going on with Kenny Pickett ribs. So he actually broke his ribs. So the last game, he broke his ribs, and to give him credit, he toughed it out, played, took some dirty hits, but his ribs was broken. And I got to respect Kenny Pickett. Tough as nails. And just the team culture. He knew, like, all right, Jalen down. I'm really hurt. So all we got is Tanner McKee and Ian Book, who haven't even been with us all camp. He toughed it out, played the whole first half, basically. Tanner McKee came in and finished the job. Now, again, shout out to Kenny Pickett. You got to give credit where credit is due. Anybody, break their ribs, they done. Not playing. And collect my check and sit out. But that let you know the team culture. And he really wanted to show some things that he got. So now, when you look at Kenny Pickett's stock and even Tanner McKee's stock, Howie Roseman looked like a genius because he signed two caliber QB2, possibly QB1 for some of these teams. So again, shout out to Howie Roseman. Looking at Kenny Pickett like he's a valuable guy. We got to keep Tanner McKee around. And even when you look at the Tanner McKee draft, it's insane from round 1 to round 7, like the Murrow, John Moes and stuff like that. I think he got drafted with like Keely Ringo and those guys, Sidney Brown. That's a really, really good draft. But also I want to talk about Becton. McKee Becton was very emotional after the game. But let me play this clip. Look, man, McKee Becton, you're going to be a bust. You're not that good. Injury prone. He did his thing. He deserves those tears of joy. Now, Philadelphia culture, winning the NFC East is like, okay. But you got to think he came from the Jets, and they didn't believe in him. They cut him. And I told y'all from the offseason, I'm like, McKee Becton is the real deal. He got strength. They were saying like he's just as strong as like a Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata. Just that the Jets that had the right culture. You see what's going on with the Jets right now. Jets look like this. He come to the Philadelphia Eagles and he looked like this. Now when you look at McKee Becton during the offseason, we love Tyler Steen, but McKee Becton is playing out of this world. And hell, I think he might take a discount to stay with Stoutland. We will see. But McKee Becton, man, he deserved a crowd of tears of joy. And let's talk about AJ Brown just a little bit before we go into praising, Saquon Barkley. He did something really nice. He threw Tanner McKee to first passing touchdown into the stands. Probably wasn't thinking it's the emotion. And then he kept his promise and gave the ball back to Tanner McKee and also signed the jersey for a fan. Let me go ahead and play these clips. super dope, super duper duper dope. But AJ Brown, man, keeping his word, keeping his promise. This game was just, it's like you mad we lost to Washington, but the way to win the NFC East like this, I gotta. I'm very happy about this. But let's get into the topics while we on AJ Brown. Let's talk about AJ Brown praising Saquon Barkley and how he wants Saquon Barkley to break the record. I'm giving y'all a lot of clips, but let me go ahead and play this one.
Saquon hit that number.
Excited for him. Excited for him. He was trying so hard, guys. He was trying so hard. You know, I told him to get it done, but be safe. And I'm happy for him.
Do you want to see him go? Do you want to see him go for the all-time rushing record next week?
Of course. Why not? You know, I want to be a part of that. You know, so looking back on the years, I'll say, hey, that's my teammate. You know, and he did it.
It's viewed as a Saquon thing, but you just said it. Like, what do you think it would mean for the team if you were to set that record?
It means it'll mean a lot. You know, history purposes. You know, like I said, I like to say when I'm talking to my kids, I was a part of Saquon when he did that. You know, part of the team when he did that. So. Who knows what happens next week? So we'll see.
You've been on the.
You see, that's dope. That's dope, man. You know, he said, I want to tell my kids that, you know, I played with Barkley. I was his teammate when he did it. I think I'm on the opposite side of a lot of fans. I think I actually want him to break it. Maybe I'm just saying that because I'm high off emotion and stuff like that. Like, yeah, break the record. But when you sit back and think about it, when that logic start kicking in, like, well, we do need him for the wild card. We do need him for the next game if we win the wild card, and we're going to need him for that next game. If we make it to the NFC Championship game, then we're going to need him for that next game if we get to the Super Bowl. So that makes sense if we're going to need him for the next 4 games. And if he could just have a week off. But like Slay said in a quote, like, this would be the biggest fuck you to the Giants if he break the record on them, and it really would. But I don't think Sirianni and those guys play like that. That's why they made sure that he got the 2,000. Like, at least he could get that record if he can't break ED record. Hey, it is what it is, man. The Super Bowl is a bigger thing, and I feel so bad for Saquon. Saquon, like, I didn't even know they get hats and T-shirts when you win the NFC East. It just lets you know how bad the Giants are. And let me go ahead and play that clip.
Won an NFC East title. Yeah, it's cool. I'm not gonna downplay it, but like I said, at the end of the day, you're not getting remembered for being the 2024 NFC East Division champs. I'm happy. My first hat and T-shirt game. I didn't even know it was a thing, to be honest. So I'm happy to be part of that, and we did it as a team. But we all know what the goal is. What was the
Giants are a terrible organization. He didn't know that, but Saquon's having himself a year. The clip is refloating around of the general manager talking about Saquon Barkley. Hey, what can you say? All right, so let's talk about Tanner McKee breaking records. I think he threw like 5 passes. 2 of them was touchdowns on his first start. Shout out to Tanner McKee. You know, a guy that's a QB3 didn't even expect to ever play a regular season game. And he showed he got some value. Now, we could flip maybe Tanner McKee for a 4th. Maybe some people seen that like, wow. Like all the Eagles fans been seeing, like, this dude could sling the ball. He looked very poised in the pocket. And it's like when he threw the ball, I never felt like worried. I was a little worried every time Pickett threw the ball, but I never felt that way about Tanner McKee. But Tanner McKee, man, he got the tools to be a good quarterback. Now, my thing is today's quarterback is mobile. That'll be his only problem. Like, he got to be able to move, because once they bring pressure, or if he ever moved to another team, they don't have the best O-line as the Philadelphia Eagles. So I don't think the standard statue quarterback can really work, especially if a team got a good pass rush. It's just that the O-line was on one. Like, they was not playing. But imagine if they have like an off day or something like that. You know, Tanner McKee don't have the tools to get out the pocket and make something happen. That just is what it is. That's his only knock. But other than that, Tanner McKee, he can be a really good caliber QB in this league. I just don't know if it'll ever be for the Philadelphia Eagles. Maybe he always be that caliber backup. Who knows? And maybe one day he can, beat out somebody on another team. But It's the reason why Jalen Hurts wanted Tanner McKee. Remember, Jalen Hurts handpicked Tanner McKee because he knew he had some tools. Like, okay, I could learn from this guy. So that's our QB room, man. Our QB room is really, really good, and they play together. So shout out to Jalen Hurts for kicking on the Cowboys the first time, and our two backups kicking on them the second time. So shout out to those guys. Let's get into this last topic. So it was reports coming out that Quinyon Mitchell was pissed off with CJ Gardner-Johnson. You know, they celebrated after CJ Gardner-Johnson got the second pick, but visibly Quinyon Mitchell wasn't there. CJ Gardner-Johnson basically stole the pick, and reporters talked to CJ Gardner-Johnson about it, and he apologized. Yeah, CJ Gardner-Johnson apologized. He knew Quinyon was there. That could have been his first pick, but let's be honest, man. CJ Gardner-Johnson got a bonus today. It was $500,000. It makes look. If I need 6 picks and this pick coming right to my hand, I can make my $500,000, especially with all these fines I got. Man, I don't know. I don't know if I could blame CJ Gardner-Johnson for stealing one, but again, shout out to CJ Gardner-Johnson apologizing to, Quinyon Mitchell, like, yo, my bad, this and that. Because remember, in the Buccaneers game, he almost stole that one. They end up bumping heads. But my philosophy of it is like, I would rather 2 guys go for it than nobody go for it. Again, it seemed like CJ Gardner-Johnson, one, probably really wanted to pick, but 2, he wanted that bonus too. So, again, those guys will be fine. I heard they talked it out. They laughed on the sideline and apologies were had. And Quinyon Mitchell, if he probably would have caught that pick, he probably would have been more in the conversation, even though his stock is dipping for Defensive Rookie of the Year. So they might give it to Verse because these last 2 weeks, Quinyon's starting to look like a rookie a little bit, but I think he'll pick it back up. And that pick would have really helped put him in that conversation. But it is what it is. But that's all I got for you guys today. And sorry for the lack of graphics. We just had to straight shoot this one. And this is Eagle Owl, man. I'm out.